All right, let's try it again. So let's have Angie do her intro again, and then we can jump to Melanie.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us today to discuss the 60% Orange Technical College East. It's not really a transformation, I guess we're building it, but I appreciate y'all spending some of your time with us as we discuss this. I'm looking forward to the presentation as much as y'all are. So welcome and thank you for attending.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you.
Come on up, Melanie. Oh, just page down. No, go back. You can go back. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
We ready? I hope people can hear me out there. My name is Melanie Stefanowicz. I'm the Associate Superintendent for Career and Technical Education. Since 1933, Orange Technical College has been the premier local provider of career and technical education programs. We believe in changing lives through education, and our staff, even throughout the pandemic, has continued to show up every day to ensure that we can continue to serve our students and our community. Orange Technical College has a main campus, 3 branch campuses, and 3 extension campuses, plus a myriad of apprenticeship programs throughout the region. We are currently shifting to what we call an institutional model, and what that means is each campus will have kind of a hub of services that we provide that are based on career clusters. And so our West Campus is really transforming into the construction and trades, welding technology. It will have apprenticeships. Our South Campus is industrial, transportation, manufacturing, culinary, hospitality. Our main campus will have a health science focus. And this campus, our East Campus, will be information and digital technology. And all of our campuses will continue to serve adult education. So our campus programs for this campus will be very many, and they will all serve in-demand, high-wage, high-skill industries throughout the region. And so you'll see a mix of arts and AV programs, business management and administration, information and technology. All of these programs will have industry certifications tied to them, and students will be able to stack them. And what I mean by that is they'll be able to earn one at least, if not more than one, in addition to the career certificate they earn while attending with us. So part of the building program, of course, will have administrative offices. We'll have a beautiful event center with we'll have recording labs, screening rooms, student common areas. There'll be a digital audio production area, digital cinema areas, along with the administration offices. Go ahead. All of our programs and the building is being designed so that students can collaborate together across media. So students in digital photography production can work with digital media technology. They can work with audio to create one major project together, just like it works in industry. So they'll be able to collaborate. There'll be a lot of cohesions, a lot of convergence throughout the campus. I think you'll see in the way the building is designed that students will be working not only in state-of-the-art labs, but also they'll be provided access to network and really kind of get to know each other across the content areas in which they're working, which helps them to begin their network of professionals that they know when they leave us and go into industry. Over to you.
Thanks, Melanie. So DLR Group's so excited to be part of this project, and coming off of Melanie's enthusiasm, we're really looking for this campus to be a cross collaboration of some of the local industries here to really foster the next step of education and career training. The project budget is currently set right around $45 million. We're looking to target 1,000 students on a property of 31 acres with that target date of opening early in 2024. Now, some of the discussion points from the 10% community meeting were around the ideas of adaptability, location, collaboration, how to inspire career achievements. Again, honing in on hands-on learning opportunities that you'll see throughout the campus. An idea about sustainability and being good stewards of our environment. Wanting to have learning flexibility that happens indoor and outdoor. You know, maybe not today, it's a little hot outside, and as we're nearing the summer, but if you think about those spring and winter months when we can really facilitate courtyard learning and bringing that collision of the different programs. Branding, understanding that if you're an OTC student, regardless of what campus you're at, you're a part of the greater Orange Technical College community, and using the building as a learning tool. Going into the interior, making sure that learning's on display. you may be enrolled in one program, but get exposed to other programs that could also enhance your certification or your career aspirations. Nature integration. We have the opportunity of having such a great environment in the state of Florida, and how can we integrate the environment around the landscaping to really access and create opportunities for students? Experiential, creating experiences and celebrating what a new facility can offer already the great education that is being provided at the current OTC East Campus. So some of the innovations, these were really the drivers, the guiding principles of the project. Wanted to be technologically rich, create a cross collaboration of industry programs, leading edge, partner with those industries so that job placement becomes so much easier for our students, a sustainable environment, and of course, with utmost importance, safe and secure for our students. Let's talk a little bit about the site. So here we are at University High School, and the new OTC East Campus is going to be right next door, right in the heart of Central Florida on the east side near University of Central Florida. So a lot of partnerships there. And if we come into the area a little bit more, you start to see the parameters of the site on La Canatosa Trail on the northern edge and Eastwood Drive on the southern edge. What we've also pointed out here is accessibility to education, understanding that there's a Lynx bus stop nearby along Alafaya. Now, as we start to get into the actual site plan, and pardon me as I use my cursor. So we are going to be directing all of traffic off of La Canatosa Trail so that we are not interfering with University High School traffic. So this would be your main entrance along Cougar Way, with the majority of visitor parking and staff parking being on the north side of what is a two-bar building. The main entry is right here at the joint between the two bars. You have a 3-story bar. Plan north, where it says OTC East Campus, will be 3 stories facing University High School. And then we have a 1.5-story bar of those larger elements that Melanie talked about, of that big soundstage box and other amenities that could be used with industry partners and community events. Site development, we've talked about University High School being a great neighbor next door. A little update on planning. The rezoning hearing was completed and we received final approval from the County Commission on March 8th. Again, we've talked about La Canatosa, and we have traffic studies underway. We've been looking at East Campus traffic to enter and exit from the north, as mentioned, to provide that separation from the high school student traffic. Now, as we dive into the first floor, you can see that the myriad of colors is just expressing that collaboration between the different programs. And also, as the first floor, those larger spaces are the ones that are going to be more community-facing, industry partner-facing, and really the exciting spaces that give OTC East a presence in this industry, in these certifications. The second and third floors, second floor being more dedicated to the arts and AV and technology, and third floor being more about information technology. But those hints of other colors is what you see, a distributed administration throughout all 3 floors, so that we have eyes and ears within the building itself. Now, these are the exterior elevations, and I know they're only a flat 2D drawing at this point, but the team is really excited about the design story here. I mean, when you're talking about tech and coding and binary code, we were really inspired by the rhythm of the zeros and the ones and how to start to express that on the exterior, creating a rhythm that is unique for OTC and can resonate with the designs that are already started on OTC West and some of the interior designs that are happening on OTC West and OTC Main Campus as well. Now, sustainability is about being a good steward of the environment. So we're looking at low impact designs as we look at the landscape, what are native and low water plants. Building is looking at high efficiency chillers, looking at materials that are going to be good for the environment as well, and also maximizing daylight and the comfort of the student and faculty and staff that are going to be in this building. Nothing is better than creating the right environment that will make people want to get recruited and retained on this campus. As mentioned, we're in design. We started the design in fall of 2021. We will be completing design for permitting here in the next month or so, about 5 weeks away, as we go into the permitting process, hoping to start construction this fall with a project opening early in 2024. And with that, we'll turn it over to question and answer.
Okay, do you mind going forward one more slide? So for
Sure.
our online attendees, you can put questions in the chat or you can use the Q&A tool. This is a little bit of instruction on how to enter some questions into the Q&A. Couple questions did come in during the presentation, so I'll go ahead and get those out there. And then if we have in-person questions, we'll take those too. Clint, the first question, if you don't mind going up to the podium, I think we addressed part of it. But the question was, this is from a resident of La Canatosa Trail. She said traffic is already busy. How will this project impact traffic?
I will say that the traffic study is still ongoing, so it's not completed, but it will analyze the Cougar Way La Canatosa intersection. It'll also analyze the two intersections, so the main on either side, so Rouse Road and Alafaya Trail. So a detailed analysis will be provided all three of those intersections, and once the results of that are available, they'll be presented to the public.
Yeah, we can bring back a lot more detail on that study at the 100% design meeting. And there was, we did mention that the traffic is all going to come in from the north, right? Correct.
That's correct.
And so it won't interact with the University High School traffic.
Correct.
And the other question that came in is, what is the expected number of people going to this school? Do we have an estimate on that yet?
I would say we need about 1,000, but it's over shifts.
About 1,000 over various shifts.
From about 7:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock.
So the school operates from about 7:30 in the morning to about 9 o'clock at night. So those 1,000 students would not all be on campus at the same time. That's spread out over time. Do we have some questions in person? Board Member Gallo.
So now that we're coming in from the north side, and I know that that's where the buses usually come, those gates are usually locked for security purposes. Now that the OTC is going to be open from 8 in the morning to 9 at night, what are we going to do to ensure that University High and its students will be safe? What is there going to be a guard gate out there? What is our safeguard so that people who should be on campus can't get on campus?
Okay. Would that be a Nicole question or a Mo? Who wants to?
Oh, so do you ask a question?
Mo, do you mind going to? Yeah, why don't you go up there? Well, that way I'm not trying to paraphrase. So there was, the question was, how is University High School going to be secure? With this, the school is open. And, Mo Arthur, who is our design manager, we're bringing up the kind of site plan so that we can, address that.
Okay, so typically our high school campuses, we do have points of security at the perimeters. So that's something that we'll coordinate with this local high school because their daily operation will be to secure that perimeter after the bell rings to ensure that people aren't coming onto the campus that shouldn't be there. So we'll have to implement any changes that aren't in place today with the addition of this campus adjacent across the street.
Look like another guard gate, security out that way.
Yeah,
People have to show their ID to get on, maybe have a parking pass.
Yeah, so what we typically have at our high school campuses are guard gates at the vehicular and the bus entrances. And so typically you have to show your credentials to come onto the campus and then check in at the front door administration.
If I can add to that, so typically what we'll do, and we'll work with Mr. Arthur here, is we still want to try and keep a 270-degree fencing in terms of the high school building. I mean, obviously our approach is a layered approach in terms of security. There is a very good high probability that we're going to have a gate there. I mean, a guard gate there and somebody attending it. That'll be an operational decision that we'll kind of like work with the school to try and accommodate. But certainly we're going to find school safety.
Thank you, Commander. Do we have more questions in person? Board Member Gallo.
I'm just anticipating questions I'm going to get by email. So with the traffic, I know that we're doing a traffic study that's going to come off of so
Yeah.
playing devil's advocate, if the traffic, because we know it's busy, that's a narrow road, we know it's busy. The traffic coming off Rouse Road can be busy. Do we have a plan if that study comes back and says, whoa, it's really busy? Like what would our is there an alternative? Like, what do we then do? Because just doing a traffic study without having a plan B, if we find out it's really busy,
So that's
what will the traffic study do and how will we adjust if it says it's too busy?
the great question.
And we actually got almost exactly the same question online, so I wanna, since online couldn't hear her question,
Okay.
let me reiterate what she said, and I'm actually gonna read off what came in, which was very, very similar. So we have a question online that says, the new school is approved, but the traffic study isn't done yet, so what are your potential solutions to decrease traffic? Which is pretty much exactly what board member Gallo just said, so.
And unfortunately, it's a great question. Unfortunately, the main answer is that it's in process, but just to give everyone a reference, for every new school or in addition to a school that OCPS does, a traffic study is performed. Our team works on a lot of them. Not committing to this high school or this OTC, but in some cases you need extra turn lanes to get an acceptable, what you call a level of service. So the city of Orlando and Orange County publishes a level of service standard that we at the school has to abide by. So our analysis will take the existing traffic numbers and then add in the proposed traffic numbers that OTC will bring. And we'll see with no improvements what the level of service is. And if it's okay, then and it's good. If it's not, then we start looking at recommended solutions until we get to that acceptable level of service. And that'll all be we won't design the improvements in the traffic study, but we'll make recommendations to get to that level of service that is acceptable.
And Clint, before you go anywhere, okay, so Clint mentioned turn lanes, but what about crosswalks and lights? Do you look at?
Yeah, it's some cases like we're working on high school site 50 out at the Lake Nona area. Due to the traffic there, we are in putting in a new traffic signal that OCPS is funding. So it's really a site by site specific. It depends on what the results are, but traffic signals are one of the recommendations that happen. Turn lanes are one of the recommendations that happen. In some cases, the existing infrastructure can't handle it. It all just depends on how those flesh out, but we'll get to a point where our recommendations provide that acceptable level of service that are recognized by like agencies such as the Manual for Uniform Traffic Control Devices. We go by federal guidelines and that are further enforced by Orange County traffic guidelines.
And I did want to mention that we do have a representative from Orange County Traffic here. Christina Pichardo Cruz is here, so she's in the room listening to all of this as well. So there's a question that I think actually might be better directed to you, Christina. The question is widening La Conatosa Trail to 4 lanes an option?
I can't answer that.
Okay, so Christina said that she wouldn't be able to answer that directly because it's a team decision, but that she would bring it back to engineering and what was the other part? And transportation. So she's here and she hears your question and she'll take it back with her. And as we mentioned before, there is another meeting that will happen once the design is complete before construction begins, and that's when we'll have all of this nailed down. We do come out at this point because this is the first opportunity for the public to see the floor plans. So it's the floor plans that are new at this meeting. We have a date for the next meeting. Okay, that's a great question. Do you mind going back to the timeline? Because I'll show you where in there it falls. Oh, it's the timeline's at the end. So basically, there we go. So we do the meeting between the design and construction phase. So it looks like, well, they're both fall. So I'd say that we're gonna be back here in the fall. Do you guys have a month estimate by any chance on when we go from design to construction? I don't know off the top of my head. That October, November. Okay, so probably October, November. We haven't set the date yet because we do try to wait until we're a little bit closer to make sure that the design really has to be complete before we come out to that next meeting, because we don't want to show you something that's not nailed down. So I would say October, November. The fact that you're here on this meeting means, you're on the list to be informed about that. And we will certainly share out that date all the same ways we shared out this one. Do we have any more questions here in person? Do we have any more questions online? Let me give online just another minute or two. See if they're typing anything. And Angie, are there any remarks you would want to make while I'm just giving people another minute or two?
Hello. I just want to thank everybody for attending. There'll be more information available on the website. So as we get closer to those fall dates, they will be advertised. We will be sending them out as we have done in the past. And if you have any information at all, feel free to email me, angie.gallo@ocps.net, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. If I cannot answer them, I will make sure that I find someone who can. But I appreciate y'all attending. If there's no other questions, and then I'll let Lauren close it out. Thank you.
How do we, okay, last question. How do we contact someone in engineering or transportation regarding any concerns we have with traffic? Christina, who with the county would you want them to contact if they wanted to give input? Because I'm gonna put Board Member Gallo's email in the chat, but I also want to put one in for the county to answer that question.
You can pick them. I'm the one who don't take contact me.
Okay, so I'm putting in the chat both Board Member Gallo's email as well as, so head safety at ocfl.net is Christina Pichardo Cruz's email address, and she will get your comments to both of those places. So I just put on the chat, angie.gallo@ocps.net. That's your board member for this area, and head safety at ocfl.net to contact the county. And we definitely, you know, as Board Member Gallo said, we will have more details on that at the next meeting. So with that, I think we've addressed all the questions online and in person. I just want to also thank everybody for coming, and we'll see you in the fall.
Thank you.